evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever
Good
you
night.
are.
Good night. I forgot to
Good
add
night. Yekaro.
That's part of the problem. You just assume everybody speaks Yoruba. You see what we're talking about?
Otutuoma.
I don't know what that means. What's that?
Good morning.
Why can't you just speak Yoruba? That's what I understand.
People, they'll never be satisfied. Human beings.
We can't.
Welcome to the Road episode 186
Of
of the Road 30 podcast.
Oshe, Elupi,
Dolly here.
Isaac here.
Thank you for joining us once again. We're recording on a Friday today.
Elupi,
Guess the reason. Guess the
76.
reason. Guess the reason.
Because
Guess the reason.
Elupi 77.
Election is on Saturday, so we're recording today because last time I wrongly believed that we could really
I know,
record
she
on
said
a
wrongly.
Saturday.
Someone was naive.
I was very naive. I said we'll finish on
Someone
time.
doesn't
Don't worry.
know, she doesn't know the country she lives in. The anyhowness in this country is
Yeah.
just anyhow.
So we ended up recording on Sunday, but we didn't want to make that mistake again today. So we decided to record a day early, and we're hoping that we'll finish on time so that you don't
go and
flog
vote.
Isaac.
Oh yeah, so there's
And-
Oro in my area. Please, if you can explain that thing to me like I'm 5, I would appreciate because I don't understand what's going on. I saw some people with like leaves flogging people this morning. You guys already know my stance on this kind of things, but I would like to learn. I would like to learn because it doesn't make any sense how in this time and age somebody can wake up and be like, yeah, I'm doing something today which affects all of you even though you don't believe in what I'm doing. A couple months ago on this podcast, I had said that I couldn't touch my toes. So I'm going to give you guys my AP for this week. And this is very important, right? You see, time is your best friend and perseverance is something that you should always have in you. I would like you guys to know that 27 years of my life, this week I finally, after months of stretching and almost tearing my back in half, I finally touched my toes. I have never been so happy in my life, right? I didn't think this was possible.
I wish you could stand up and give a demonstration now.
Like, I didn't think this was possible. And I'd like to say a big shout out to all the people that helped me get here because it wasn't easy. There are people who I check in with every day to show them I'm stretching. And yes, we've gotten there in the end. It is really, really, I don't know how to feel about it. Like, don't get me
that's
wrong.
Great though.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. It's not perfect. Anytime, like, I did it this week, Wednesday and Thursday. It almost felt like my back was tearing, but I did it, right? And I was
feel
able to
you.
do it for 10 seconds.
Hey.
And sincerely, it is, what's that thing that they say in Nigeria? It is only upwards from here.
You know what? No, even I want to check if I can touch it.
If you can still do it, go on, check.
Oh.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, so that has never been a
course,
problem for me.
this is like when
Head,
rich,
shoulders, knees, and toes.
it's like when rich people say, "Oh my God, you guys don't have water."
But I'll tell you the one I
Yeah.
cannot do.
What?
You know a forward, no, not a standing forward fold, like a sitting forward fold. The reason why I mentioned that is because, we wanted to just talk about value systems and ideologies, right? Which sounds very complex, but it's not really.
It's
not. How do you think? That's really what's
That's the debate.
That's the gist of it.
That's the debate. How
That's
do
the
you
debate.
think?
How do you think? And one of the things that we're picking up from is someone had messaged us in our suggestion form, to say that I think it was after the presidential elections, to say how they don't know how to feel about their friends who did not vote Peter Obi and things like that. Like
Yeah,
how do you navigate those kind of relationships?
yeah.
And I guess I wanted to ask, I guess from that, should we use that as a starting point?
Yeah, go ahead.
How do you feel about, I think it's been very clear, Isaac, who you have supported in the presidential elections, we supported the same candidates. Do you feel that way
do you
about
know?
people who, I hope you're not lying to me.
I'm a closet corn eater.
How
I
do
stand
you,
with bat.
how do you feel about people that voted, like bats or,
To be honest, thank you very much for this question, Dolapo.
you're
Lovely
welcome.
question.
You're welcome.
I'm practicing for my own campaign run.
Yeah, I can see that.
So, it starts with the people. It's always about the people. For example, I have a friend, very close friend of mine, who was a very, very, very vocal Tinubu supporter, right? And it was quite interesting because everything leading up to the presidential elections made me realize I couldn't handle that friendship. He said this after the election, and it really had me thinking because I realized that before the election, I was very like heated and all that. But post election, I was kind of cool about it. I was like, you know what? You supported who you wanted to support. My candidate unfairly was cheated out of it, which is where I have an issue. But I mean, everybody has the right to vote who they want. Unfortunately, it's a democracy. But my thing is this: you can hold two thoughts that are opposing, as I always say. And it's very important. One, you have the right to do what you want. But like he also said, two, it's okay to admit that your choice is not the best for the majority. Those two things going together to me shows a sign of I don't know, is intelligence. What I find a lot is that majority of the supporters have no concrete reason other than propaganda, right? And it now ties into this thing that we want to talk about, which is like the whole values and belief system. Like, you know how America would have, is it right wing, left wing, and all those things? I don't think there's any solid ideology in Nigeria for most people. I think it's just a case of you're either religious or you're not. And even in the religion, you're either heavily conservative or you're not, right? And to me, those things are not really ideologies that like stand the test of time. They're not even like well thought out ideologies. To me, they just seem like rules and regulations from religious bodies, right? And that's why I have a problem. You see all these people that were doing these trolls on the internet. I didn't even know you could block that many people, but I had to. You find that, and this is one thing I do, I give people grace. When I see somebody actively supporting a candidate, I go and read through their tweets and see if they've made
Sense.
most times they haven't, right? And it boils down to the fact that there is really nothing that you stand on, right? And it's why we're very easily swayed as people. Today they wake up and say your candidate is Igbo, now everybody's jumping on that. Tomorrow that party will reply and say, oh, but your candidate is from Osun, now everybody's jumping on, because the, like they say in churches, right, the foundation is shaky.
Hey.
The foundation is shaky, and a lot of us are like that. A lot of people have, even people who claim to support Obi, like, it's not so much that they understand why, they just want a change, which in this moment is fair, but in the long term, that won't stand the test of time.
Well,
Do you get?
yes. So I understand what you're saying to a good degree. I would say personally, for me, I don't know of anybody in my personal life
Yeah.
that supports, the other party like APC or any of the other parties. I don't know of anybody personally.
Yeah.
Maybe I might have maybe some family members that are extended. I don't really talk to them, so it doesn't really bother me.
Fair.
Do you understand? For me, I think I don't have any problem with people supporting different candidates. My issue arises when you see evil and you're okay with that. Do you understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That is where I begin to have an issue. Because I now start to wonder, you are okay with this?
Yeah.
Up until the elections happened, and I feel like this election was an eye-opener. I had always said on the pod that vote who you want to vote. And I still stand on that because you have your opinion.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You have your reasons,
Everybody
do
does.
so.
Yeah.
But seeing everything that happened on the election,
Yeah.
if you can look and you are saying that is fine. Like
Yeah.
when I say free and fair, that's why I always said that if a candidate that I don't support wins free and fair, I would take it that is the will of the people. It wouldn't be, I mean, I would not like it, but it is what it is. The people have spoken.
Yeah.
But when you see a person who is cheating, who is harming other people, the people that you're supposed to lead, who is treating them anyhow, there is no way I can understand why that is okay with you. When I see people defend that, I can't, my brain, I can't compute. Because what you're telling me is that you're okay with people cheating and harming as long as it fits into your agenda.
Yeah.
That's what you mean.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean it's just for elections. It means that in
No,
your own
it's a
personal
broader-
life, if you were
yeah.
put in that position, you would do the
Oh,
same
of
thing.
course. I mean, like,
Oh, actually, I know someone in my life that supports,
Oh, okay.
but I don't talk to the person. Like, I stay away from that person for a reason. And this is even before the elections. So
Yeah.
now it's confirmed for me. Sorry, go on. You're
yeah,
about to say something.
this thing you're saying is actually